Hello everyone and welcome to the video. Today we're going to be taking a look into the article released by Fantasy Flight Games about The Circle Undone, a new campaign cycle for the Arkham Horror LCG. This is the 4th Deluxe expansion for the Arkham Horror LCG, and this time we see the investigators return to Arkham to unravel the mysteries of the Silver Twilight Lodge. This campaign seems loosely based around the H.P. Lovecraft story, The Dreams in the Witch House. The story, without giving too much away, is about a student at Miskatonic University who rents an attic room in Arkham rumored to be cursed. Arkham curses witches. Seems nothing suspicious going on there whatsoever. Anyway, if you want to check out the full reading of the story, you can check out Horror Babble's reading of it on YouTube. I'll put a link down in the description. I think going back to Arkham for the new campaign cycle after the Forgotten Age will really feel like you're coming back home to Arkham after trudging through the Amazon jungle. Moving on to the substance of the article itself, the first fully spoiled card that we see is a treachery card called the Watcher's Grasp. It reads, Revelation. Heal 3 damage from the Spectral Watcher. Ready the Spectral Watcher. It moves, engages, and attacks as if it were the enemy phase. Throughout the resolution of the effect, the Spectral Watcher gains prey. Oh man, does this seem like a bad time. Drawing one of these can either force the investigators to spend a lot of time and resources dealing with this threat already as it moves around and tries to attack other players, or it can just straight up kill you. This seems like an awful time. And not only does it kill an investigator, but then it leaves the Spectral Watcher with some extra health to just soak up. Man, you're really going to want a card like Water Protection to just say no. My assumption is that the Spectral Watcher is going to be the big bad boss monster of the scenario as presented in the box, and will probably reappear throughout the course of the campaign. This card really scares me to think of what the Spectral Watcher will actually be like as a boss monster, if it has revelation effects like this. FFG also partially spoiled some other cards as well. Starting from the top left, we have a 1 experience rogue asset called the Moon number 18. Message from your inner self. This card has no skill icons and it reads, You get +1 agility, and has a reaction. When the game begins, if this card is in your opening hand, put it into play. This card seems pretty great for investigators like Lola or Jenny, who greatly benefit from stat boosts and generally have the extra resources to play an asset like this. Hopefully, it doesn't take the accessory slot. That's my only concern with this card, but combining this with something like Peter Silvestri or Cat Burglar can give your investigator 5 or 6 agility before even other cards are committed, which seems especially great when playing at harder difficulties. Moving on, the next card is called Devil. This is a treachery card that is put into your threat area and has an action icon. My guess is that you'll probably have to spend this action to pass a willpower save in order to get rid of it. The next card we have is a Guardian event card with a might and an agility icon called Delay the Inevitable. From the image we can only see fast, play, and investigator. Judging from what little text can be read, the skill icons in the image, my guess is that this card probably lets you engage an enemy that would engage an investigator at your location, but then delays the attack for a turn, thus delaying the inevitable. The card underneath the rogue asset, the Moon, is a new investigator card, Diana Stanley, the redeemed cultist. She is a mystic with a willpower of 4. One. Seriously? Now, I'm not going to go over Diana or her other cards previewed in this article in depth in this video. I want to save that for another video. But just because we're skipping over Diana for now, that doesn't mean that we don't have any other new investigator cards to talk about. FFG stated that not only will we be receiving the standard 2 scenarios per deluxe box, but we'll also be receiving an additional prequel scenario in which you play as one of 4 people who attended the ill-fated event that occurred at the Twilight Estate. The article goes on to say that you'll play as these characters during the prologue scenario only, and that each of these people have their own unique abilities, skill sets, starting play area, as well as their own opening hands, but no additional deck of cards. FFG stresses again that these characters are not investigators. The image in the article only fully spoils 2 of the 4 characters: Gabriella Mizra, private security, and Jerome Davids, Joseph's secretary. We do at least get acquainted with the other 2 people, Valentino Rivas, the wealthy philanthropist, and Penny White, Joseph's housekeeper. The first thing of note of each of these characters is that they have the same stat lines, just rearranged, including health and sanity values, which makes these characters quite frail and easily taken out. With only your starting hand and no additional deck of cards to assist you in your journey, you'll be reliant on your pulls from the Chaos bag to be kind of you. And, well, we all know how that tends to pan out. Moving on to Gabriella, she has a unique reaction that states, "After an enemy attacks you, even if that attack was cancelled, discover 1 clue at your location, limit once per round." And her Elder Sign effect reads, +1, heal 1 damage, and 1 horror. Pretty straightforward in my opinion. With a combat value of 4, Gabriella's going to be the one engaging and fighting enemies of the group, hopefully also triggering her reaction ability to discover clues while battling the otherworldly forces. It is interesting her reaction ability to discover clues specifically mentions even if the attack is cancelled to her reaction ability. It leads me to believe that maybe she'll have a card like Dodge. Other than that, her Elder Sign effect is decent, but can also just kind of be a vanilla +1 if you don't have any damage or horror to heal. That you'll be glad to see it in most cases anyway. The last fully spoiled card we're going to talk about in this video is Jerome Davids. He, like Gabriella, has a special reaction that reads, when an investigator at your location draws a treachery card from the encounter deck, discard cards from your hand with a total of at least 2 intellect icons. Cancel that card's revelation effect. Limit once per round. And his Elder Sign is +1, discover 1 clue at your location. It's a shame that Jerome isn't an actual investigator that you can build a deck with, however. Being able to turn cards like Perception, or the secret card Working a Hunch, into pseudo Ward of Protections would be amazing. Even discarding 2 cards from your hand can sometimes be better than the alternative. In the context of the prologue scenario, however, if you only start with 5 cards in your hand, it'll be hard to say how often you'll even be able to use this effect. His Elder Sign effect complements his 4 intellect stat well, as you'll often be the one tasked with investigating, and discovering extra clues is always good. As for Valentino and Penny, from what we can see, they both seem to have abilities that interact with skill tests. Penny's reaction ability specifically mentions succeeding at a skill test. You can also see the words location and round as well. Maybe Penny moves to a connecting location, or maybe reveals locations without moving to them. As the housekeeper, that would make sense, but I'm merely speculating at this point. Overall, I think this campaign cycle is shaping up to be an exciting addition to the Arkham Horror LCG. While I was hoping for Dexter Drake to be the new Mystic card, I'm definitely not disappointed with Diana. And again, we'll discuss her in a later video. But maybe we'll get another investigator like Amanda Sharp or Bob Jenkins, Joe Diamond, or maybe even Norman Withers. Who knows? I want to hear from you though. Are you excited for this new campaign cycle? What investigators do you think they'll add? What do you think the Spectral Watcher will be like? What are your thoughts on the spoiled player cards? Do you like the new pseudo-investigator cards? Leave your thoughts and comments down below, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more Arkham-related content. In the next video, we'll be going more in depth about the newly spoiled investigator, Diana Stanley, and just why on earth there is a mystic with 1 willpower. Until then, thanks for watching.